And we're live. It's another banging video. We're back. This is LUKE-N-SHAE'S place, and we're about to do another bang-up reaction video. We're hoping that you like. We're going to take you back a spell or two. We're going to go back to 1986. We're going to bring out the best of 1986 and how young ladies were thinking and doing back in 1986. Okay, well, that's the beginning of where the single mothership became a big thing. We're going to look at a town in New Jersey called Newark. If you're from Newark, we can give a shout out to the people in Newark. But yeah, it's a bang up video. How you doing, Shay? How you doing?
Hey, how are you doing, Luke? Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you doing that. And again, it puts us in our videos in the algorithm for other viewers to see our content. And we're trying to take our podcast to the next level. So we appreciate your help in advance. So please like, share, and subscribe.
That's right. Like and share and subscribe. We definitely need your love. All your love.
All right. I'm ready. You are. I'm excited. What do we got here?
We're going to start it right now. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Go.
Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father.
Can you make it a full video?
The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. You know, it's a lot of responsibility, and then you don't want the commitments.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down because I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you think you might need help in raising that baby from a man?
Not really.
Wow.
You don't need a man.
My father wasn't in the home, so you know it really male figures are not substantially important in the family.
Oh, wow. Continuing cycle.
I ain't thinking about holding up for no sex, my man. You know, if a girl, you know, she get having a baby, carrying a baby, hey, that's on her. You know, I'm not gonna stop my pleasures because of another woman.
What about birth control? What about condoms?
Girls don't like them things. They don't like them things. They'll tell you to take them things off. They figure that you saying that they filthy or they dirty or something.
It's been a startling change in
that's
values.
crazy. If they didn't want to use condoms, come on.
25 years
Girls
ago,
would think
you would
that
not have heard such
you would
things
think
said
that they
so
would
freely
think that the men
because they
would
were
think
not
they were
embraced so
dirty.
widely.
Yeah.
A strong family was still the backbone of Black America, and 3 out of 4 children had both parents at home. That is true no longer. Most Black children are now growing up without their fathers. The result is a world turned upside down as children copy what they see and repeat what they learn. LaDawn said she didn't have a father in her home and doesn't think her children need one. She's not unusual. Half the Black families today are headed only by a woman. Clorinda said she could make it on her own as a single parent. She has never been married and is raising her daughter without a man's help. She's not unusual. Today, nearly 60% of all Black children are born out of wedlock. Timothy said his children are not his responsibility. He has left them to be supported by their mothers and welfare. He's not unusual either. For LaDawn and Clorinda and Timothy, and many more like them in cities all over America, the traditional family no longer exists. It has vanished, and something new is taking its place. Single women and the children they're rearing alone are the fastest growing part of the Black population. What becomes of the Black family in a world where the values are being turned upside down?
If the parent is 17 and 18, uneducated, unmotivated, fooling around, wandering around, what's the child going to learn? Who's to teach them? When you learn something, you was taught by your parents. It was reinforced by school and your neighbors, but it was taught by your parents. Well, if the parents don't know anything, how are they going to teach the children? So it's not racism that I'm fighting right now. It's the lack of motivation. It's, you see, I'm not even talking about racism. Maybe later on we'll get back to that. But I think we are destroying ourselves.
I'm just trying to tell you, like he's putting the beat on them drums, like them
See that right there? That's
Can.
that right there. He's getting it on them drums. That's where you make the makeshift with the buckets. That's bucket beats right there.
Oh no, those are cans.
He got cans?
Those are
Oh,
oil
okay.
cans.
Portion of CBS Reports is sponsored by
Oh.
Sun Company. At Sun, we believe putting our energy back into the community is just as important as getting it out. Where there's sun, there's energy.
From all over the world, crude oil comes to this Sun Company refinery where we make Sunoco products.
We didn't pause it.
This is Newark, New Jersey, one of America's inner cities. Inner city is a polite name for ghetto, as in black ghetto. Those of us who don't live in the ghetto are brought here usually by television, and usually only when there are violent pictures to show. But we have to come here if you want to understand those fearsome statistics about the vanishing black family. Now, a lot of white families are in trouble too. Single-parent families are twice as common in America today as they were 20 years ago. But for the majority of white children, family still means a mother and father. This is not true for most black children. For them, things are getting worse. Today, black teenagers have the highest pregnancy rate in the industrial world. And in the black inner city, practically no teenage mother gets married. That's no racist comment. What's happening goes far beyond race. Why then do so many teenage girls get pregnant and have children? Why do so many fathers abandon their families? The answers begin with the people here. They told us what happens to family when mothers or children. Fathers don't count, and the street is the strongest school.
Good morning. Chuck over here, Bob Slade, standing by. We are going to check with you on one.
Okay. Okay, Bob.
It is the beginning of another school day in Newark, New Jersey. Another day of class for Clarinda Henderson. She is 17 and had hoped to graduate from high school next year, but that was before the birth of her baby.
I dreamed that having a little baby, you could just cuddle in your arms, just hug all the time, kiss on it, smell it, because it's so sweet. I thought it'd be fun until I had it.
The reality's different.
The reality just punched me right in the eye. I had to pinch myself and see if I was here because I was like, this is too much.
Clarinda was only 15 when she got pregnant with her daughter, Shaquana. She is not unusual. Half of all black teenagers become pregnant. Clarinda has never been married. She's still living with her mother at home, where she's raising her baby daughter.
Oh, she was only 15. I thought she was 17.
Yeah.
Clarinda goes to a special school for dropouts after she
now.
sends her daughter to a daycare center. She has 5th grade math skills and reads at a 6th grade level.
When I got pregnant, I said, well, I'm going to have this baby, and she's not going to stand in the way of my education. I'm not going to let no one stand in the way of my education. I ain't going to be like these other girls, just drop out, can't get no job, no money, have to be on welfare.
Ready. On the vocabulary. Bingo.
Clarinda learned about birth control in sex education courses, but she still became pregnant. You think it was a
We need to
mistake?
do a follow-up show on this right here.
Yeah.
I'll say no, because I wasn't on any birth control methods. Neither was he.
And I'm concerned that she was 15 with it when she was 15, but now 17 with a 6th grade reading
When you
level.
think back to that day when
That's
you learned you were
bad.
pregnant, what went through your mind?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna tell my mother.
That's
And I'm
wild.
gonna tell my mother she gonna make me get an abortion. I was really scared, I think,
Why didn't you want to get an abortion?
because I wanted his baby.
What did you like about him?
His legs.
His legs.
I got a thing for bow-legged boys.
Bow-legged boy.
I love them. They got some gorgeous legs. I just don't know.
Darren Lyle is the father of Clarinda's baby. He is 18 and lives in central Newark. He dropped out of high school.
That's the leg she was
He has never held a steady job.
He was bow-legged.
Most of my time listening to the radio. You know, I don't go to school. I don't work. I don't do nothing. Just like this killing time.
Did you want to have a baby?
Not really. It just happened. You know, she just popped up pregnant. And I just.
Were your friends impressed?
Not you know, everybody was telling me, you know, that she looked just like me, and she is kind of cute, kind of pretty. That was like, make me feel
You know what's
good.
wild?
Sure.
These people would be in their
Do many
50s
of them
now.
have babies?
That seems like that's all
Yeah.
they be doing about is making babies and shit, making babies.
Darren told us that in this neighborhood, it's easy to get involved with girls and easy to get into trouble. Darren has been arrested 5 times for stealing, suspicion of homicide, and for possession of a deadly weapon. When you were arrested for carrying a dangerous weapon, what was it?
One of them big machetes.
Machete?
Knives and big knives.
You mean you just carried it around with you?
I used to bring it to school with me.
Man, that man bringing a machete to school.
That's hard to conceive that, isn't it?
Nah, because I had like this blue coat. It was like a
I
blue
don't recall anybody bringing no type of weapons like that to school back then.
But you wouldn't know. He said he hid it in his goose. Remember those gooses back in the day, those big coats? He's saying he made a makeshift pocket and hid it in there.
So I felt like I needed a weapon.
I understand where he hid it, but I'm talking about, I don't know nobody when I went to high school with that would have a machete.
Have you asked Darren to help you with the baby?
Yeah.
No, because I
different.
see he can't even help himself. He can't. It's pitiful to say that, but he can't.
He wasn't prepared to be a father?
No.
Yeah, maybe a switchblade, but not a machete.
Were you ready to be a mother?
Yeah, I remember people having the knuckles, the brass knuckles.
But now that I am, I just have to take it step by step.
She not tender-headed.
Florinda relies on welfare to support Shaquana, but it's her mother,
She
Gloria
just reminds
Henderson,
me
who
of a
gets the
little
check
girl,
for the whole
though.
family.
Like with her man,
Gloria, 34,
like
has
a
never
little
been married.
girl.
She was a teenager when Florinda was born, just as her own mother, Florinda's grandmother, had been when Gloria was born. When you were pregnant, did you assume that you could turn to welfare for help after the baby came?
Yeah, but I didn't have her just to collect welfare. I had her because I felt that it would have been a part of me. I would have had somebody to live for and also somebody to love and love me back.
Is your daughter the first person you've ever loved?
I really, really love my daughter.
2 months after the birth of their baby, Florinda was pregnant again by Darren.
Oh,
This
wow.
time she had an abortion. She didn't think she could handle 2 little children while still a teenager herself. Your grandmother was a single woman with a child. Your mother, a single woman with a child. Now you. Why is that happening?
I really didn't plan on getting pregnant, but if I really had somebody to really sit down and talk to, like really express my feelings to them, I don't think none of this would have happened. And then when it did happen, my grandmother's like, I told you this, I told you that. Tell me nothing.
Nobody told Darren anything either. He too lives at home with his mother. Where's your father?
Locked up.
Locked up where?
Green Street.
What for?
Like I said, it's a cycle.
Fighting.
Yeah.
Violence.
It's
Stuff like that.
Had anybody ever told you what it is like to be a father?
I like watching other older, I had
What did you learn
kids.
from it? How did you?
I learned that they take a lot of patience. Take a lot of patience.
You have a lot of patience?
I don't got a lot of patience.
Florinda doesn't always have a lot of patience either.
You want to fight? Then don't ask me if I want to fight. If you don't want to fight. Don't say to me.
You got my course there.
Come in now.
Talk to you. You like going out like that.
No, you went out. You shouldn't have said nothing to me. You done already pissed me off.
What I do?
2 months after her abortion, Florinda and Darren broke off their relationship. They see each other rarely now. Once in a while, Florinda will take Shaquana to visit. Do you ever think about marrying Clorinda? Why not?
No.
I ain't thinking about that. Nah, that's the last thing on my mind.
You ever feel depressed?
I don't be like sad. I just be like frustrated. I'm like really like frustrated.
What are the odds that your daughter will follow the same route? Because there was your grandmother,
No,
your mother, and you.
no, I see to that.
How?
She won't.
Mm.
I would sit down, I would talk to her about her being a young lady. Like, Juana, if you go out here, you have sex, be sure you're on birth control. Or, you know, if you do have sex, make
How
sure
about
That's the scary
whoever you're
part.
having sex
How
with
about don't
care
have
for
sex
you. Don't just let them just
until you're
get
married?
let you know them get over on you thinking they got a piece of the action. Now they can go tell Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Did your mother tell you those things?
No,
You tell them to yourself?
I talk to myself in the mirror. But
And you say
And the
no, no?
kids raising
no.
kids.
It's like I said to my daughter, no more.
Here we go. Alice and Timothy.
Alessandra Jackson is 23. She's the mother of two, expecting a third, and is not married. She too lives in Newark. Like nearly half of all black children in America,
Oh, she
Alice's
had them
children
old
are being
food
raised
stamps.
in
She had the
poverty.
paper food stamps.
They live a
Yeah.
subsidized life in subsidized housing. But
They were
that's
pulling
not
out
what
of the
Alice
book.
wanted or intended. Alice lives in one of the toughest neighborhoods in Newark, in the project where she was born and brought up. But she hoped that one day she would move out of here. She graduated from high school, went to business college for a year, and worked steadily until she became pregnant with her first child.
You know, I was doing so good before I was pregnant. I had a little job. I kept money, you know, stuff. But after I had the child, that's when money started going low.
What was your reaction when you found out you were pregnant the first time? Did you intend to get pregnant?
It wasn't planned. But when I got pregnant, I wanted to be a mother. You know, it was exciting to me. I just thought I had something of my
There we
own.
go. Look at that old station wagon with the sliding side door.
You know, after you have it in this home,
I remember that.
you gotta bomb this, you gotta bomb that.
Malik is Alice's firstborn. He is now 3 years old. Soon after he was born, Alice, then 20, quit her job to take care of him. 16 months later, her second child, Antoine, was born. When we met, she was 6 months pregnant with her third child.
Ain't no mom.
Timothy McSeed is 26, the father of Alice's 3 children. Though they're not married, they see each other regularly.
When I first met him, I didn't like him. But when he started talking to me, it seemed like he was like a man that wanted to have a home, have children, take care of them.
Did you talk with Timothy about how you were going to support the baby when you were pregnant?
You know, that's what we didn't do. No, we didn't even talk about how we was going to support the child.
Timothy McSeed held his last steady job 2.5 years ago. He's been arrested several times on robbery and drug charges. He was brought up in Newark by his mother, who was 16 when Timothy was born. His father has another family in another city. Timothy has a talent for drawing, which he has never developed. He dropped out of high school
was
at
the fathers
16
they were
and
talking
spent
about.
2 years in the Job Corps. He was 23 when he and Alice had their first child. Timothy does not support any of his children.
Wow.
How many children do you have?
6.
He fathered those 6 children by 4 women. He also had 2 more children by 2 other women, but one died in infancy and the other was aborted. We asked him about the birth of his first surviving child.
It was kind of a funny experience because, like, me and the girl was just messing around, right? And she was going with somebody else. She used to be an old girlfriend of mine. She managed to get popular by me.
Okay, that's the second baby. The third was...
It Mustafa. He was the third.
That was by another lady?
Mrs. Ward. Yes, I go see him every now and then.
How old is he now?
He's 5, if I'm not mistaken. 5 or
He
4.
said he goes to see them, but he's not providing for them. He's not even
I only saw her
doing
twice.
nothing for them. That's sad.
2 times.
What happened to her?
It's a family problem. You know, the father don't want me to see the mother and all that. You know, so I got tired of running behind her and found me someone else. I didn't have to sweat it because I guess the father was taking care of them anyway. So
How does it feel to have those
women,
no kids?
kids, oh, well, you get to see. If it ain't one thing you done, you like artwork, for instance. You look at your art,
What?
you say, this is something that I've done. Just like the carpentry, it's something that you've done. You see what you've done.
You hear that?
Anything, if you don't do nothing,
He said it's
Like that
artwork.
artwork,
Like I'm
yo.
just painting
It's
and,
like it
moving
was,
on and
you know,
painting
it was
other.
too.
So the kids
Wow.
are sort of artwork?
Well, not really, but
Crazy.
you can, like they might grow up to be doctors or actors, you know, and you can say, look, that's my boy, or that's my girl, you know. Whereas, you know, there's some people that can't have children at all.
Like I said, you see how small they
Their
are. Look
mothers
how
raised
small they are
Timothy's
back in
children,
the 80s.
and welfare pays for them.
Yeah.
On the first day of each month at noon, the mothers gather outside the project's mailroom, waiting for the postman to deliver their checks.
Oh, we
For
call
that
it Mother's
postman.
Day.
What?
That's right.
Because us mothers be getting our check that day, getting their welfare check, so we call it Mother's Day.
I hate to be that postman. Look at
Like
that.
big bum rush.
All the time.
Alice's welfare check comes to $385 a month. She cashes it at the corner store.
Back in town now.
She gets another $112 in food stamps.
I don't think I would have had the second 2 children if I didn't think welfare was there. I don't like welfare because it makes me lazy.
It does?
Yeah, it makes you lazy just to sit around and wait for a monthly check to come in. You know, I just like to work. I like money to come in every week or every 2 weeks.
Why doesn't Timothy help you take care of those kids?
One thing I do know about Timothy, that if he did have a job,
See you another blue moon.
I know he would take care of me and the children and the bills. But what's holding him back? Well, this is what he tells me all the time. He figure I'm gonna be with another guy, or I'm gonna slip away from him while he at work. That don't make no sense to me.
Ooh, good answer.
Don't you get mad sometimes?
I get mad a lot of times about financially support from Timothy.
What do you say to him?
I always say it ain't that hard to get a job. Go out there and look for a job, because I'm sick and tired of just laying back waiting for a welfare check. I said, this is not how I want to live the rest of my life. This is not the way I plan for my future to be.
Does it make you feel bad that you can't support your kids?
Yes.
How do they make it? Where do they get the money?
Well, the majority of them, the mothers on welfare, and welfare gives them a stipend for the month.
See,
So I'm
that's
not
my
doing
thing.
the government does.
He's okay with
What would
that.
if the government
Like,
didn't?
That's because I don't think they're
he's
putting them
not,
on
he
child
feels like
support.
he doesn't have to take any accountability
In order
for
to give,
any
you
of
need to
it.
have
He's
for
just
yourself.
painting
You
artwork.
see,
Like
people
you
out there
said.
watching go say, why didn't he think about that before he brought 6 kids into the world?
Well,
Yeah,
mother
like
had
I
a
said, he's
choice.
not on child
She could have had
support.
abortion,
I think it would be
or she
different
could
if
have kept
he
the
had
child.
single-based
She
child support and the
decided to
way
go
child
this
Yeah.
route
support
to
is
have the
still
child,
today.
so
That's
therefore,
crazy.
I
Yeah.
guess it's not sweating her. I mean, it's not
You think it's her fault?
Right
if
now,
she gets
nothing's
pregnant?
happening to
Well,
him, so he's
fine,
going to keep
fine.
painting
Well,
artwork and
maybe
getting
not.
more babies.
They
Like,
say, mama, baby, papa, maybe. You know what I mean?
he's laughing
A
about
week
it. Like,
before their last
I
baby is
can't.
born, Alice came for what is only her 4th visit to the doctor during her pregnancy.
Yeah, I was very much worried, and I was kind of unhappy being pregnant. You know, to know that I'm going to have a 3rd child, and I'm not doing so good with my 2 I have already.
Is that some? Come with me, please.
But as you know, the months went by, I just had to deal with it, being pregnant and knowing that it's my child. I'm going to have a child, and I'm just going to have to support it the same way I supported them.
Okay, let me listen.
Or do better if I can do better.
Is that the last one?
Well, I ain't gonna say that because I said that when I had my first one, then I had a second one. When I said
Yeah, I
that
ain't
with the
going with
second
that
one,
no
and I
more.
had the third one.
I'm trying to get a
So
fourth
I ain't
one
gonna
doing
say
that.
that.
Somebody was the
Did
last.
you think about birth
But the
control?
fact that
No, I
she's
didn't even
happy
think
with
about
this
birth
guy
control.
who's
I
not
was
working
afraid of birth control
and
because I
he's
always
not
heard
doing
that birth
anything for
control give you
himself,
cancer and
he's
all that
having
stuff.
kids with the same
What about
guy.
Timothy? Did you talk to him about taking precautions? About
Like,
Yeah, I talked to
That's
him
good.
about being
Everybody in this
careful
video
about
so far.
birth
yeah,
control.
they keep
But-
going back to the same people that are
but-
not working or doing it.
No, he wasn't with
And
it.
then she's complaining about welfare, but you keep having.
On Father's Day, Alice and Timothy had their third son, Hakeem Lamont Jackson, 7 pounds, 7 ounces.
Yay,
You're
little
pretty
boy.
excited.
Little boy. I'm the king. I'm the king.
Yeah, he's
Hey.
pretty excited. He got another son now.
Excited, but at what cost is his excitement?
How you feeling now? You feeling all right, sweetheart?
No,
All right. Pain.
Mm-mm.
sad face, little baby. You heard him, man. You hungry? I know you're hungry.
Let me see my little baby. So many women, so many
Oh,
children.
baby.
Do you ever think that maybe you shouldn't
But do you think
do it?
maybe look at him in that time? He's probably considered a fine guy,
I'm
right?
highly sexed, but I have
So I'm just
ways to
looking
cool
at
myself
him and
down.
his feature, his
You know, because like when you're
hairstyle.
dealing with one female
So
and you're not dealing with another,
I
you know,
think a
having
lot of
sex with it too much
that.
is bad. So you have to like, you know, set a schedule when you should do it and when you should not. You seem to break your schedule sometimes. Well, like most women say, you're a baby maker. I just got strong sperm. Would you have had these kids if you'd thought about them in advance? No. All were an accident. Yeah, you can say that. Were you just having a good time?
It also sounds like a lot of women are having
And you didn't
babies
think
with
about
this
marrying any
one
of these women
guy.
except the first one.
This
The first
one
person.
guy.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna marry Alice.
He was a player for it.
Oh yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you
He's
love
putting
Sandra?
at least 2 apiece
Yes.
in women, like
They do.
so.
Does
You
she
know,
love you?
2. Well,
Girl,
this other
crazy
chick had
about
3.
it. Tell me, why did you get married? Well, see,
But what's really crazy
I'm a
is
big
that
black
he just had would be 39.
and my uncles and my aunts, you know, they all had their little tuxedos, and I'm gonna have mine too. I thought you were gonna say to me, because I can't afford to at the moment. Oh, that ain't it. Because I'm gonna find me something. I'm gonna get something. See, I'm strong in that spot. When? Find something. Never. I keep on trying. I don't never give up.
You know, you feel very responsible for your
Little
children, and Timothy
Arnold.
doesn't. What does that say?
Sometimes I think like that. I said, Dad, here I am. I got 2 children, 1 on the way. Well, this was before the first one. I'm doing this all by myself. And sometimes, you know, if you sit down and think about that, I know I really get very upset because I don't think he really understands that I'm here, you know, taking care of all this by myself. If he get that, if he think like that, I think he'll do something. I don't really think he understand that I'm doing that.
Why do you let him off the hook? Why do you put up with it?
And sometimes I'll be like,
Trying to get that man on
telling
child
him
support. Come on, why you let
to
him off
leave
the
me
hook?
alone and so
Yeah.
but every
But
time I
come
do
on,
that, when
for
he
child
not with
support.
me, even that same day or the next day, I feel, lonely without him. Feel like,
You be missing
I
them.
just get angry and say them things. I don't really be meaning them. So,
Do you love him?
yes, I love him.
Does he love you?
Yes, I think he loves me too.
So that's what it is. She thinks he.
Okay, well, that concludes that. That was an interesting video, and
That
definitely a lot, because you hear women say that all the time. Oh, the men left. The men didn't actually leave. The process of it, well, the welfare system, like I said, you had what, 6, 7 women saying they didn't need a man, or they didn't need a baby daddy or a father to help raise their child. Matter of fact, they were asked, wouldn't it make sense to have a father? And they were like, no, we good. But that's
yes.
the beginning of it right there. But that's interesting to see.
Yeah, that was something that, wow, just looking at that time frame at 86 and what their mindset was, and just looking at the teenagers in general, even the guys, and some of them weren't teenagers, some of them were able to work, but they just, like the one guy, he said he was making artwork out here. That's different. But my whole thing was the girls see that these guys aren't working, and then they say, hey, I get stressed sometime, I'm here by myself. But yet some of them had multiple kids with the same guy. So when does it end where you say, hey, this is an issue? Another thing I was hearing is, well, the one girl was talking about how nobody actually talked to her about this, and her mother actually had her as a teenager. So when does someone actually say, hey, this is not the way to go? Because the cycle keeps going on and on.
Yeah, that's what the process of, even like I said, when you talk about how these things work again, and I know, like I said, most of the time we like to blame the men in this, but you have to also look at this and go, okay, why would I continue to get this right here, and knowing that this ain't working? At what point do you come to grips with, okay, well, I need to stop? That's where the issue comes in. But like I said, I mean, in 86, and I do remember 86, so it was a good year. But at the same time,
Yeah, I
like
remember
I said, it was
86.
about, they were, I can't say they were all small though in 86. It wasn't no really big people running around in 86, I want to say.
No,
But
not in Newark anyway. From and not that I'm familiar with that area being from Jersey, but when we watched the whole video, so only time we saw any bigger people is when the one girl went down south to visit her family. Remember that one? When she went to a reunion, then you saw some, that was some good eating, because her family reunion
oh,
had some
we,
plumpness there, but.
we,
But yeah, no, that wasn't a thing. Out in the 80s, we
but
were
that's
playing outside. There was a lot of we didn't have game systems like that where so there was a difference. Yeah. We
we
were
had game
active
systems.
outside.
We couldn't afford them. When they was in the projects,
Yeah. We didn't have a game system. We might have had an Atari, but we very seldom even played the Atari growing up.
but yeah, they did go outside a lot. But like I said, it was a different day and time. So yeah, the people were definitely in better shape and looked much healthier. But then again, like I said, it was a lot of dancing, because one dude was doing dancing, and he was like I said, they were definitely getting the exercise in. Um, but that was another good video.
But
I
they
really
were
enjoyed
getting
it.
that, but it also looked like they didn't have enough activities, because when we talk about the weight, their weight gain was from pregnancy. So that wasn't a good thing either, because if you have a bunch of teenagers and they're active, but they're being too sexually active, and you're making these babies, and it's just a repeated cycle, and that's a sad thing. So their weight
No,
gain might
like
not have
I said,
been
but
in their
they were
physique,
still
but it
comfortable in
was
that.
definitely in their stomach, and this was a thing that
No,
was going on.
yeah,
So
that's the whole thing. But like I said, it sounded like, if you really wanted to be technical, it would be like it was people going through a lot of anxiety and depression, and that forces you to two things: you're either going to eat or you're going to procreate, I guess. But I guess that's what was going on there, because you're also living in the projects as well. So they wasn't like they were um, living like, in luxury or anything. They were living, and I guess, like I said, that's the mindset at that time. And that's why I said I imagine it was tough escaping that area at that time, or escaping that way of life. So that's what it was about. So, I mean, they had seen it for so long that, like I said, that's what I always say to you, it always become a cycle, and
it
then you get
does.
stuck in the cycle until someone
It
breaks
does.
it.
Yeah, I can relate. So yeah, I know that's teenage pregnancy. Yep, that's and it's one of
Yeah.
those things where I don't think nobody goes into it with the mindset of, okay, I want a baby. I don't know. The one girl said she wanted a baby because she liked the way they smelled and all that. So maybe
Well, they did
she
smell
didn't.
good back in the day.
Yeah,
Babies
they
did.
do. They do. But that wasn't my reason for having my babies. But yeah, she liked the way they smelled. So, but
Yeah. I want a baby because the way the baby smells, survey says. And but
yeah,
yeah, I
so
guess that's what it was. That was a
that was
banger
definitely
video.
educational. That was good to see. But
Yeah, we're going to end that right there. We hope you enjoyed this. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.
yes.
Definitely.
And remember, a positive mentality is a destined reality. Keep that mindset
Yep,
positive, stay focused, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
there you go.
Or in the
Make
way
sure you
that
do that.
Luke puts it, like, subscribe, and share. Whatever order you want to do it in, we just
Ma'am, I didn't put
appreciate
it
it.
that way. That's how it came out, ma'am. I just push buttons, man.
It all means the same thing, Luke. At the end of the day, we just want them to do it in whatever order, and we appreciate it.
Okay, but that was a wonderful show. Really enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoy it as well. Y'all have a blessed one.
All right, so later.